Coming up in the news, the Minister of Economic Affairs addressing the largest contingent of customs officers receiving promotions during a special ceremony today. And good news for Grand Bahama as the newest Solomon supermarket store will officially open its doors in just a matter of days. Plus, Junkanoo groups on Grand Bahama making a plea for assistance as the parade day quickly approaches. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, it is historic. The largest group of customs officers promoted during a customs promotional exercise on Grand Bahama. Some 62 in total yesterday. The ceremony taking place at the C.A. Smith building. The Minister of Economic Affairs, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, pitch hitting for the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, reminding the distinguished group of men and women of the role they play in protecting the borders. Jolanda Thompson reports.
After 10 long years of an overdue promotion, Golden Shoulders Epaulette was passed out to 62 customs officers who received letters of good standing for their dedication in service and eligibility. Participating in the exercise was the Minister for Economic Affairs, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, who says the promotional exercise is as a result of a lengthy process, but it is much needed to express gratitude to those protecting and collecting the country's revenue. The room was filled with supporters cheering on 3 officers promoted to senior level and 59 officers moving up the ranks to grade level 2 advancement. Minister Halkitis noting that apart from securing the Bahamas' borders from illicit contraband and smuggling, these customs officers play a vital role in the country's economic makeup. He brought remarks on behalf of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis.
We wanted to express gratitude, congratulate those who were promoted, encourage those who have not been promoted, and as well stress to those who have been promoted that as they elevate into the ranks, the responsibilities become greater. Now they are looked at, for example, from the lower ranks. But overall, just to say thank you very much for all the work that they do, and encourage them going forward.
The minister explains while he is excited for those receiving their promotional letters, he says officers who missed out on the elevation this year should understand the procedure, but encourages them to continue producing hard work.
Particularly some of the trainee customs officers, it took a long time to get them, promoted to customs officers grade 2. And so it's an ongoing process. It was a backlog. What we wanted to do was, get some out. We did a lot of the work, thanks to the staff at the Ministry of Finance as well as the Ministry of the Public Service to get these 271 out. It's an ongoing process, so those who were not, we encourage them to just keep on working.
Acting Deputy Controller of Bahamas Customs Ralph Monroe was also in attendance, expressing that the department is seeking to fill more senior level positions and appeals to all customs officers to increase their contributions.
In the superintendent rank, because of the attrition, retirement, there's space there for upward mobility. We need more people. In the senior customs officers rank again, we are starved. We need more people there. And so we are asking officers to perform, to be mindful of their department, to look towards the future.
The promotional exercise is said to be seen as progress in the way moving forward and a signature to hard work paying off. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Well, in other news, anticipation continues to grow as residents await the grand opening of Solomon's food store downtown Freeport. The grand opening is set for this Thursday, and some residents believe this will help to pump life into the downtown area. Our Aja Quant was downtown today and got those reactions.
Final preparations being made here in downtown Freeport for the opening of Solomon's food store. This comes as great news to residents who say this is exactly what was needed to revive the city once again.
It is a blessing to see the supermarket is getting ready to open up.
It's a long time coming, but thank God it's here.
It will. It do it in those days gone by. It will come back again.
Why do you feel like that?
That's why people used to, when people used to come from 8 Mile Rock to go there.
Town it was downhill. This can be a jump.
You can't wait till it's open.
We've been waiting a while for it to come back. So this will be a blessing for everybody. And then we'll get all the traffic back downtown.
I know you're going to have a lot of movement. You're going to have a lot of movement, and especially on the opening date. This place is going to be packed. Everybody's going to come from east end to west end. They're going to gather downtown.
And some say bus and taxi drivers will also benefit from this opening.
I think it would benefit us, yeah.
It's going to be a big lift in the bus system because we need it right now. So we're excited. Can't wait for it to open.
The taxis and bus never left. So that's a good thing. And the bus stop never left. So everything is in place and everything is ready.
They need that, especially the taxi drivers and the bus drivers, because bills piling up and people get stressed and problems. They got to take care of their family and this and that. They know how they can make the ends meet and this and that. So this is a big boost. God bless the Bahamas. You know, everything is good.
Now the doors for Solomon's downtown will officially open on Thursday, December 1st at 10 a.m. for shoppers. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Ajak Wand.
Well, it was an extremely close call for two tourists and a male driver who escaped life-threatening injuries during a two-car collision this afternoon. According to reports, sometime around 12:15 p.m. this afternoon, the police control room received a report of a traffic accident on Seahorse Road involving a black Chevy Malibu and a Toyota Jitney registered to H. Forbes Charter. Officers were dispatched to investigate, and upon arrival, they met a black Chevrolet Impala parked facing east on the highway with extensive front-end damage. The bus registered to H. Forbes Charter was parked on the western shoulder with damages to the front, middle, and rear end. As a result of the collision, two tourists on the Jitney bus and the driver received minor injuries. EMS personnel along with the fire department were dispatched to the scene, and the injured parties were treated and transferred to the Rand Memorial Hospital to receive medical attention. Meanwhile, as tourism numbers are continuing to trend upwards to pre-pandemic levels, a local financial and business consultant speaks with our Jolanda Thompson-Everest on how tourism vendors can do more to experience the trickle-down effect.
Given the relaxed COVID-19 restrictions, selling the island's tourism product has become more of a priority for business owners and especially straw vendors. As the country's tourism numbers increase, straw vendors say they are still not feeling a rebound. During an interview with President of Rags to Riches Roger Roll, he presumes the country is growing and expressing business owners and vendors ought to be doing more to discover the true interest of tourists visiting Grand Bahama. Roll says he is not excluding days of downturn. However, based on the increase of air and sea travel, he believes straw vendors should create more ideas on how to improve their visibility and traditional ways of advertising.
Those platforms. But more importantly, I think each vendor should strive to build a website, one where people can go on long before they come to these shores, see what's going on. They can also collaborate with the Ministry of Tourism in ways of how they can be in the tourism magazine. So these are the kinds of things that we as entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are in the crafts business need to look at.
The financial consultant reveals that one of the biggest issues tourism vendors have is dependency and not generating other avenues to bringing sales.
An entrepreneur needs to have an attitude of thinking that if it's to be, it's really up to me in order to get things done. The pending sale fell through a couple of weeks back. The straw vendors cannot wait for the next 3 years, because if the government signs a deal, let's say by the end of November 2022, we won't have tourists coming on that strip for those hotels for about 36 months approximately.
He expressed that one must find ways to be different and dynamic, not only being able to sell products, but themselves.
Never the customer. It's us, our products, how we present ourselves, the knowledge base that we have with our products, the fact that we can do some of the handiwork ourselves, that we can link with others who are artisans and other gift creators and makers, where we can get favorable pricing, and then certainly we can deal with tour operators, bus drivers, taxi drivers, and building a link where we can say to them how we can benefit them and at the same time benefit us.
Kroll says he believes if vendors contribute to the value of growing the economy, then things will begin to change. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson Everest.
Well, with the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade approaching, the Grand Bahama Junkanoo Corporation is making a last-minute plea to corporate Grand Bahama. It has been 3 years since the groups performed in the downtown area, and they all hope they are able to put on another classic. Our Shane Stubbs spoke with the corporation and filed this report.
It has been 3 years since the rhythmic sounds of Junkanoo pulsated through the streets of Freeport. With the cultural extravaganza making its grand return this coming New Year's Day, the Grand Bahama Junkanoo Corporation hopes that they can put on a dazzling display once again. However, with the possibility of the groups not making it onto Pioneer's Way come January 1st, the corporation is making a plea to corporate Grand Bahama to help as best as they can.
We'd like to thank the government for the seed money they would have given us. While it is a seed, it only helps to start the foundation of what we want to build. We've also had consistencies with the Government Port Authority who have committed to assisting us. But we also reach out to all of the corporate companies within Grand Bahama because we really need the financial assistance. A lot of groups have been challenged, and we're not sure that they're going to make it in the road this year. Any particular group that you want to support as an individual, you can support your group.
Bain says companies that have assisted in the past have been forced to lessen the amount they usually give. As a result, it has left all of the groups in some sort of limbo. Understanding that companies themselves have seen their share of economic struggles, Platinum Nights leader Thomas Curry makes the plea for as many companies to hop on board so that Grand Bahama can kick off 2023 with a bang.
It's been 3 years now. We haven't had a senior parade in Grand Bahama. A lot of Grand Bahamians at large are looking forward to this parade. A lot of companies, it's rushed for them for a little while, but we're appealing to corporate Grand Bahama, come out and try, support your group so we could make it out for 2023. We need this little boost, start the New Year's off with a bang.
Passionate about what Junkanoo means to Bahamian culture, leader of the Superstar Rockers, Chauncey Gray, hopes that all of the groups can get the funding needed to put on the best show possible.
Anytime you think of the Bahamas, you see anything of the Bahamas, one of the first things you see is Junkanoo. So we want to do our part here in Freeport to put out the best parade that we can. It's very hard for us to do what we want to do, to put on a spectacular parade, and you don't want to water down your number one culture. We're looking for the community, for the corporate community to help out as much as they can so that we could put on our number one culture the way we feel like that we could.
In the meantime, the corporation is thankful to those who have been helpful to the groups along the way. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, in news from the courts, 36-year-old Juven Sawyer of Freeport was arraigned in the magistrate's court on possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of ammunition, and possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. Bail was granted in the amount of $9,000 on each count with the sureties. There are conditions to his bail. Sawyer must sign in at the Central Police Station every Monday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and will return to court on Tuesday, March 21st of next year. And police on Grand Bahama are searching for leads into an armed robbery that took place on Spinney Road yesterday. Preliminary reports indicate that a man was walking through a track road around 10 a.m. when he was approached and subsequently robbed at gunpoint of his cell phone along with an undetermined amount of cash. Police are investigating an appeal to members of the public who may have any information regarding this incident or any other crime to contact them at 919 or 911, the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991 or 2, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Festival Noel is back. Friday, December 2nd at the Rand Nature Center. Wine tasting, art exhibition, live music and entertainment, cigar lounge, and culinary experiences.
It's the coconut got this, cocoa gingerbread madness, juiciness ice the back this, sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice honey, I think all of my love me, sweet like a sugar in a
Make it platinum.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
With the holiday season fast approaching, Connect Bahamas says it's time for those window and cabinet upgrades. In stock now are white shaker cabinets, Swiss chocolate, Ovaltine brown, and Hello Milo cabinets. And if you're looking for windows, Connect Bahamas has PVC sliding windows, casement and hurricane sliding impact windows. Connect Bahamas on Queens Highway. Enhance your home in ways that beautify and last. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
My purse, someone take my bag, someone take my bag. Call the police, someone took my bag. Someone took my bag with my point. I leave the car for 1 quick second and someone take my bag.
Crime prevention should be everyone's business. Therefore, we want to remind you not to leave your bags or valuables visibly seen on the seat of your vehicle unattended. This negligent practice will create an opportunity for a criminal to commit a crime. Please desist from such practices.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. With the rising costs on produce, councillors at the Freeport City Council have come together to launch their annual Backyard Farming Kits initiative. Chief Councillor Fraser Gibson says this is a way to give back to the community, ensuring that they are self-sufficient, particularly with backyard farming.
Each and every one of us should be growing our own crops. And certainly now, more than ever, the rising prices of groceries will make it even more vital that persons will grow their own crops and produce for their families.
Family Island Administrator Dale Jellin also commending the council for this incredible initiative.
It will go to help with the diversification and the enhancement, also the expansion of the small-scale agricultural industry inside the Bahamas. And I believe that as Bahamians, we have to become more conscientious of the level of imports that we get from foreign countries and try to reduce that and engage inside farming so that we can know exactly what we are consuming, and actually we can help in terms of the reduction of food imports from foreign countries. And so this initiative, I think, is going to go a very long way.
Members of the council say the kits are for those that truly need it and can be retrieved at the Freeport City Council's office in the Pyfra Manor. Today, the kits are available while supplies last. Vessels of Purpose Elite is a mentoring organization formed by veteran social service officer Brenna May Cooper to assist girls in the East End community. Now they have branched out throughout the wider community. They began with a thankful tea party where part proceeds were given at the Resilience Center. And now they are partnering with the Rotary Club of Lucaya.
We have partnered with the Rotary Club of Lucaya in order to provide senior citizens throughout the community with warm wear. So we're asking persons in the community to partner with us and Rotary in purchasing brand new blankets, tams, and socks that will be donated to the senior citizens living communities here.
We Care with Warm Wear is an initiative that Community Service Director Billie Jane Ferguson says is a part of the mandate under the Rotary International of providing service to others.
It is our job as community builders to make sure we take care of those elderly, because why won't we take care of them? They are the ones who really, really instill so much wisdom in us, and now it's our turn to just give them a little extra love, especially during the Christmas time.
Now, for anyone interested in donating, VOPE is asking that you contact Brenna Mae Roll Cooper at 559-3600 or any executive member. Meanwhile, the Falcons Boys Club continuing monthly air conditioning seminar. President Darren Rose says the program gathers various HVAC companies to speak to young men in the organization on the industry.
I'm so grateful to all of the partners who continue to assist the Falcons Boys Club. We are a free mentoring club that is going to continue to go into the community and try to engage persons in the business community to work with our young boys. So whether that's in media, whether that's in air conditioning, whether that's in plumbing, that's in mechanic, we just want to take opportunities to be able to get people to come in and allow the young boys to see what's going on.
Now, the companies that were in attendance all agree that it is a great initiative, as there are more jobs out there than what children may be privy to on television.
Young men especially are focused and directed into doing positive things.
We encourage young boys to become skillful, because they are the future, and we are dependent upon them. And they look up to us as adults to bestow the right information and lead them and guide them in the right way. So
getting them ready for the field of air conditioning and refrigeration, showing them the joys of the trade and how much it helped to offer.
We was more than happy, willing, and able to bring equipment, tools necessary to show the fellas them air conditioning is a nice business. It's a nice business to get into. It's a trade, a field that could feed your family, and of course take care of yourself and help the community.
Your Tuesday evening check on sports is up next with Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and this is your Tuesday check on sports. The 2022 Junkanoo Jam was a success, and our very own Jay Philippe has the details.
Final day of competition at the Gombe Splash NCAA Women's Division I basketball tournament. Let's take a look at the highlights.
The Lady Tigers got off to a quick start against the University of Alabama Birmingham behind 6'3" sophomore forward Angel Reese, who scored a game-high 25 points. The Tigers took a commanding 48-29 lead into the half en route to a 99-64 win to capture the Gombe Splash NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. Jasmine Carson, Flo J. Johnson, and Angel Reese recorded double-doubles for the Tigers.
UAB is a really good shooting team, so this is one of the best teams that we have played. So being able to guard that and seeing that we're going to go back to the U.S. and play that kind of game is good. This was great competition for us, but we played together as a team. We followed the game plan and we listened to our coaches, so we were good. It's so much fun. This is my second time here, but the people here are so nice. The food is so good, so I love it here, and I hope we come back.
I thought we did much better than we did against George Mason in the fatigue factor. I thought we allowed fatigue to set in the George Mason game, and I thought we played 4 quarters today. We're going to get better and better. We're going to have ups and downs. We have 9 new players, and when we all get on that same page, we can be pretty special.
In the second championship game, the 7th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish took on Arizona State Sun Devils, who were coming off a win early on in the tournament. Arizona State led 34-31 at the half, but Notre Dame came back to outscore Arizona 24-11 in the third period. Notre Dame would continue their dominance in the fourth quarter, putting up another 30 points to take this one 85-65 to remain a perfect 6-0 on the season. Olivia Miles scored 13 points, dished out 6 assists, and grabbed 7 rebounds on her way to receiving MVP honors.
We were just being aggressive from the jump. Playing great defense is always our focus, so we did that. We got stops and we ran and we did well. Offensively, I was just being aggressive. As a team, we wanted to get it inside, and our coach did an amazing job today. But so did our guards. And defensively, like I said, rebound and run. That's what we do best. we run the floor, get easy buckets. So yeah.
I thought Arizona State came out on fire. Their intensity, we needed to match it. Second half, I really focused on our defense, and I thought our defense and toughness really got us the lead in the second half. Bimini has been so kind to us. I think with the games, the competition was really going to help us as we, carry on the ACC and the rest of the season.
Reporting from the Gateway Christian Academy Gymnasium in Allenstown, Bimini, I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Tuesday update on sports. I am Shane Stubbs. Be safe and be great.
Divas 242 for all your holiday apparel and beauty supplies. Conveniently located in Britannia Mini Mall and East Sunrise Shopping Plaza. Mo Divas.
Niceness. Yeah, watch this. How you doing there, bad man? You can't let me, darling.
Get.
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 Yeah, you think guys a dog ain't but get. Give me this thing, girl. Get up. Hey, get him. I ain't get nothing.
Start, you stay there and let them rob me?
I don't say mind up and this that pays us. I got. What? I do that, no. I get a set. I can't give me that fight.
Just a reminder to members of the public that when depositing monies in the bank or any depository location, check your surroundings to be aware of any suspicious persons or vehicles lurking in the area with the intention of committing a crime. I'm advising you to seek the assistance of the police or perhaps an armored truck. Let's continue to work together to create a safer community.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friends of the day are Sienna and Mariah Rigby. The twins turned 13 yesterday, and today we say thank you for always watching our ZNS Northern service, and we appreciate your support. Well, that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. The end of the road? Maybe not. UB locks in record donation. Feeding the 5,000. And DeAndre scores a big award. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Going on for nearly a year now, a new date has been given for when the Village Road Improvement Project will end. Cleopatra Murphy has the details of the new timeline and the additional bumps in the road.
The $6.4 million Village Road Improvement Project is expected to be substantively completed by the end of the year, with paving set to begin next week. Ahead of Tuesday's weekly cabinet meeting, Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, contradicted the completion date given by Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, last week, adding that he recently met with the various utilities and the contractor who have coordinated.
Paving of the road will begin on the first week of December, near the end of the first week of December, and it will be in 3 phases. So those phases of paving will take us through December, and it is expected by the end of September they will have been, December, I'm sorry, by the end of December 2022, they will be substantially completed.
The project that began in January includes the installation of pipes, an 8-inch water main along Village Road, and the addition of a roundabout at the front of Queens College and the Bahamas National Trust. Sarah says the Water and Sewerage Corporation has had to do additional work.
With this kind of work, as they are excavating, sometimes you have they have pipes and cables which are buried and which may not be on their diagram. And when you have a disruption, that particular utility entity has to come and repair it because it would have been ruptured inadvertently. So there have been a number of cases like that.
The Water and Sewerage Corporation has also decided to expand the sewer system, while infrastructure will also benefit segments of Paradise Island. The completion date has already been extended 2 times, initially set to be done by September, then changed to November.
You have a major upgrade and redevelopment of the infrastructure, that is the water, the power, and the telecommunication infrastructure, so that it can be adequate for the expected expansion of that particular community, as well as the surrounding communities.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Meantime, that interministerial committee formed to address the country's vexing and quickly ballooning Shantytown problem met Monday. Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honourable Alfred Sayers, says the committee will focus on communities squatting on government, private and commonage land, one of which is on Eleuthera. In on that committee is the Office of the Attorney General, which Sayers says will assist with the existing Supreme Court injunction that prevents the government from tearing down the illegal communities.
Any action taken will be done in accordance with the law, with respect to the other branch of government, which is the judiciary. And we are aware that there is a matter before the court, and the Office of the Attorney General representing the government will be liaising with the Supreme Court with respect to any action that is taken.
The committee has been in place since September and was given a deadline to assess communities and the number of people occupying them. Sarah says the deadline has been extended as several surveys have to be expanded due to the presence of additional Shantytown communities on other islands. In addition to Abaco, New Providence and Eleuthera, a sizable community has been found on Andros.
That up to yesterday at 4 p.m., there was a meeting at the Ministry of Works chaired by the PS, where about 6 to 7 other ministries participated. So the work is ongoing. The collection of data, because to make an application to the court, we need to have the data. The data has to be put in affidavit form and presented to the court.
Bridge Authority employees, the beneficiaries of a new industrial agreement that clears the way for increased salaries and improved benefits. Fern Carey has the story.
The 3-year industrial agreement signed between the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union and the Bridge Authority paves the way for pay increases and enhanced benefits for Bridge Authority workers, with both sides affirming their satisfaction with the new contract. The agreement commences January 1st, 2022 and expires on December 31st, 2024. Bridge Authority Chairman Basil Longley maintains that finalizing the contract, which had been expired for 3 years, was a priority for the board.
The salary scales were expanded because as you increase increments, each staff member would move closer and closer towards the top of their salary scales. So we wanted to ensure that after the increments are awarded, that there was still room within the salary scales for any further increases, for example, performance increases, because these increases for these increments are pretty much across the board increases.
Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union President Jerry Benjamin is confident that the new Bridge Authority contract is a step in the right direction.
We would have hoped that the years that would have gone that was expired, we would have been able to get something for those years. However, Mr. Longley and Mr. Evans, the labor consultant, pointed out to us that the economic conditions of the country at this time was not favorable, that to allow for us to be able to get compensation for those years, and we don't want to seem unreasonable or unrealistic because we live in the same environment that they live in, and so we understand that the government is trying their best to right the economy, and so while I personally would have liked more for the members of the Bridge Authority, the members of the Bridge Authority also understands the economic conditions of the country.
Labor consultant Bernard Evans believes that this latest move is a part of the government's efforts to support workers across the country, and he hinted that more industrial agreements will be signed in the months ahead.
As you know, he just announced effective June 1st for minimum wage to be increased. That has impacted the contract negotiations as we go forward. But we have been working diligently, and we are so pleased given that Christmas is around the corner, and we are happy to hammer out a lot of these industrial agreements. We still got public service.
Labor officials verified that the government will continue to pull out all the stops to help workers nationwide. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
The central bank's compiled its latest economic figures, which points to the country's positive economic trends continuing, and this despite the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Altavi's Munnings takes a closer look at the numbers.
Let's start with inflation. All Bahamas Retail Price Index measurements show that the average domestic consumer price increased to 5.1% during the 12 months to September, from 2% in the same period of 2021. And that figure can be attributed to the impact of higher global oil prices. Inflation accelerated in the average costs of food and non-alcoholic beverages, transport, housing, water, gas, electricity, and other fuels, furnishing, household equipment, and maintenance, among others. Now, when it comes to our bread and butter industry, the Ministry of Tourism's data shows that total visitor arrivals by first port of entry rose to over 465,000 in September from 158,660 passengers during the same period last year. The breakdown comprises an increase in sea passengers to nearly 400,000 compared to 115,312 visitors in the previous year. Add to that, air traffic strengthened to over 68,000 from 43,348 in 2021. And that's exceeding pre-pandemic levels, representing 125.8% of air arrivals recorded in 2019. Total arrivals to New Providence more than doubled to nearly 199,000 visitors in September from close to 80,000 in the comparative 2021 period. Over 237,000 visitors traveled to the Family Islands during the period, exceeding the 72,878 recorded in the previous year, and that can be attributed to gains in both the air and sea components. For the 9 months to September, total arrivals recovered to 4.7 million. Air arrivals rose to over 1 million visitors, extending the 67.1% gain a year earlier. And likewise, sea arrivals increased to over 3 million passengers, a reversal from a 76.3% fall-off in 2021. There was also a hike in Lyndon Pinling International Airport's passenger traffic, over 85,000 departures compared to just under 59,000 in October 2021. U.S. departures expanded to nearly 73,000 from just under 52,000 in 2021. Further, non-U.S. departures advanced to nearly 13,000. On a year-to-year basis, total outbound traffic grew to over 1 million from more than 580,000 passengers in the 2021 period, and that's following a 48.8% growth in 2021. The central bank's financial report for October also showed a contraction in bank liquidity as expansion in domestic credit contrasted with the decline in the deposit base. Further in line with the seasonal increase in demand for foreign currency, external reserves also decreased. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Well, still on finance, the Attorney General's national address on the FTX digital markets fiasco has caught the attention of the man at the center of it all, the company's former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried. Bankman-Fried actually liked and retweeted the Office of the Prime Minister and OPM Communications Director Latrey Raming's tweet about the address and right before and during Sunday's live broadcast. The crypto enthusiast also retweeted some of the tweets about the AG's speech. Now, as reported, the Attorney General defended the country's robust financial services regulatory regime in light of FTX digital markets' very public bust. He also expressed confidence that as the FTX digital markets investigation progresses, the Bahamas will emerge in even higher esteem.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Day with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. One day now remaining in the tropical cyclone season, and the tropics remain quiet. We have just this lone mid-level low that's spinning out there midway between the African coast and the Los Angeles, but development is not likely through tomorrow, and it seems as though we will end the season on the current numbers, which we will give to you tomorrow. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
And it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
We need to save.
Be happy! Save at KFC with the one-piece chicken box fill-up for only $5.95. Enjoy genuine savings and the genuine flavor of KFC chicken fried to golden perfection with crispy fries, a buttery biscuit, and an ice-cold Pepsi. Only at KFC Nassau.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment, plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Amid Russia's continued attack on the Ukraine, a country that was seen as David to the Russian Federation's Goliath. Nearly a year into the war, Ukraine's ambassador to the Bahamas is feeling optimistic about a favorable outcome. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Newly appointed Ukrainian ambassador to the Bahamas, Sergei Kislitsia, is confident that following a 10-month-long war, the military defeat of Russia is imminent. The ambassador spoke on the sidelines Tuesday morning after presenting his letters of credence to Governor General, the Most Excellency, His Honorable Sir Cornelius Smith. While he says many nations believed Ukraine would have been defeated almost immediately following Russia's invasion, Ukraine's perseverance has been one of the most dramatic elements of the war.
There were many countries who never believed that we would survive a week of the invasion, and we are now many months in the invasion, and we're not only surviving, we're also de-occupying the territories that have been occupied temporarily by the aggressor state. Ukrainians are exceptionally resilient people, and we are proud to be resilient. That's why we are not waiting for the military defeat of Russia, which is imminent, and that's why I'm here today presenting my credentials.
His comments come as Russia 2 weeks ago was forced to withdraw its forces from the Kherson region it had claimed. With Ukraine currently in turmoil, the ambassador says the global support, particularly that of the UN, has been incredible, with 143 nations voting in favor of the resolution in defense of the territorial integrity of Ukraine.
There were only 4 countries that supported the Russian Federation. And that is the lesson that should they be wise enough, they could have learned and stopped the aggression immediately. So I think that we have practically no one today sitting on the fence. I think that all responsible nations have made their choice, and that is the choice in defense of the international law, its norms, its rules, and the UN Charter.
CARICOM as a bloc, including the Bahamas, abstained from voting on a UN resolution for the furtherance of remedy and reparation for aggression against Ukraine, despite strongly condemning Russia's invasion. Despite this, Kislitsia says he respects what he says was a difficult decision.
What matters is that we got 94 votes in support of that resolution, and the General Assembly has spoken. So now we have to follow up on the resolution, and we have to implement the decisions. And I'm sure that most, if not all, CARICOM countries are very strong when it comes to legality, to international law, international humanitarian law, and that's what makes them democratic nations.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
More than $500,000 gifted to the University of the Bahamas, and handing over the hefty amount, the Lyford Key Foundation. The money representing the largest single donation UB has ever received. A check presentation taking place during a brief ceremony at the Harry C. Moore Library this morning. It's all part of the foundation's efforts to transform communities and make education more accessible for Bahamians. Over the years, the foundation has invested $10 million into UB's programs. President Eric Rowland speaks to the long-standing partnership between the two.
Their investment in the UB and its students nears $10 million given over the last 25 years. This is, quite frankly, phenomenal and reflection of the value and importance that Lyford Key Foundations and its donors place on access to quality education within the Bahamas, in addition to beyond its shores. We are deeply honored at the longevity of this partnership and proud of the work both of our organizations are committed to the development of the young Bahamians by providing these opportunities for higher education.
Executive Director of the Lyford Key Foundation and UB alumna, Dr. Nicola Virgil-Rold, says she's proud to give back to a stellar institution that has paved her career from the start.
I benefited generously from the Life Key Foundation's donors who helped students like me achieve our dreams. As an alumna of the College of the Bahamas, now the University of the Bahamas, I also benefited from the outstanding education that this institution provides. This grant to the University of the Bahamas is part of how we plan to advance educational opportunities in the Bahamas. We also operate an out-of-school, tuition-free college readiness program called Focus, which again is part of a partnership with the University of the Bahamas as we host our sessions right here at the University of the Bahamas.
And now time for the weekly poll question, and this week we're asking, have you ever experienced or witnessed acts of domestic violence? To participate, simply log on to our website, and that's www.znsbahamas.com, as well as any of our social media platforms to answer. The poll's final results will be aired on Friday, and as always, thanks for participating. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More after this.
The color of Christmas cannot be subdued. Its power unleashed in so many hues. When the color of Christmas is spread far and near, love is so rampant during this time of year. Merry Christmas to you. Christmas, who made these? I don't know. It's God's precious gift to our great Bahama land. Color your holiday at the Fame Place with our 20% off store-wide sale.
Too tired of hoping the right candidates?
Hey, baby, you back? Man, it's so good to be home. All I do was eat, shop, and party.
Well, I know you left all of your money over there. I hope you left COVID there too. Anyway, you can get your COVID test for free.
COVID test for what?
Yes, there is rapid antigen COVID tests for anyone who travel who wants to get one.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't sick. What I need a COVID test for?
You don't have to have symptoms. We just want to be sure that the only thing you brought back with you is what is inside that suitcase.
You say it free?
You do not even have to make an appointment. And guess what? You have your results back within 15 minutes.
Wait, you say it quick, convenient, and it free? Thanks. Let me go find one of these testing sites.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Get a merry makeover this Christmas from Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan to win a home renovation. This Christmas, unwrap the celebration. $3,000 for your home, new lamp, new decor, new couch that you
Win
own.
a $3,000 home goods gift card when you apply for a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas. We're giving you the gift of a low interest rate and up to 2 months with no payments. Plan the perfect Christmas with your Scotia Plan loan. Use it for any purpose, plus benefit from flexible payment terms. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan now to enter to win a merry home makeover.
What if I told you that the future is here? That is not some magical door we walk through, but a place we create. It's home. The place where you can download a 2-hour movie in seconds and stay connected to loved ones even when traveling far from home. The fastest, most secure, and reliable way to stream the internet, so you can do what you want, whenever you want. Where internet moves at lightning speeds, smoother and more reliable than anything you've ever seen. This future-proof technology can take you to worlds that you can only imagine. That's the power of Alive Fiber. The future is here. The future is home. The future is Alive Fiber.
The #1 high school basketball showcase in America is back for another year. Last year, we brought you guys the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest in Dallas, Texas, the Red River Hoop Fest in Texarkana, and the Holiday Hoop Fest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our series has brought through some elite-level talent by the likes of Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Marcus Smart, De'Aaron Fox, and the list goes on and on. This year, we're super excited to let you guys know we're adding a new stop to the Hoop Fest basketball series. I hope you guys are ready, because we're bringing some of the top high school basketball players in America right here to the Nassau, Bahamas for the Hoop Fest in Paradise. 4 of the top high school teams in the U.S. will be right here competing against each other. When? December 16th and 17th. You can expect some sharp shooting, high flying, and straight up gritty basketball at this year's Hoop Fest in Paradise. December 16th and 17th, 4 of the top high school teams in America will be right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Will you be here?
Man, we up in the Bahamian country. We up in Arcadia. We got the best in the Bahamian food. Boat racing all day in the water. Bring me the, bring me the, send me, show me. Only the best of the best, man. Bring me up boat.
Ah, well, ain't no more slopping up now. We outside December 1st to the 4th. The best of the best we got on Monaco Beach. We can find out who's the fastest in Class A, B, C, and E.
Bring me up boat. Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian. Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs was one of the proud sponsors of the Optimum Sailing North American Championships. The event took place at the Nassau Yacht Club from November 13th to 20th and brought sailors ages 12 to 15 from over 180 countries to the Bahamas. Minister responsible for regattas Clay Sweeting spoke at the event's closing ceremony.
We are grateful that over 180 sailors from around the world are here to experience the sheer joy of sailing on Bahamian waters. As a former fisherman, I can tell you that there is no greater thrill than to glide along our breathtaking waters. Our oceans are among the most pristine in the world and can be seen from outer space. It is truly a marvel to behold, and an even greater joy to sail. It is a wonderful training ground for those of you who continue to sail for today and many years to come. I have sailed with some of the Bahamas' best professional sailors as of late, so I know the tenacity it takes to cross that finish line. Now, I'm only a novice sailor now, so I hope by the end of time as minister that I'll be almost a professional. So I am overjoyed that you, the young sailors, who ages between 12 and 15 years, display such passion and grit for the sport.
Representatives of Team Bahamas and Puerto Rico's Zane Monroe and Diego Mario spoke about their experience.
I'm really proud of what I did. It was in my home background, and I feel as I did really well and I've came a long way. This is my last event in my own career. I'm really proud of what I did to be the top Bahamian.
I love it. I feel like it's tons of passion and just continuous.
This is the second time the Bahamas has hosted Optimus Sailing North America Championships, as the country did so successfully in 2019. During this year's event, the Bahamas qualified for the first time ever for the Gold Fleet in an international Optimum event. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Candia Smith.
Shell
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Great Commission Ministries continues to be a leader in catering to the needs of the less fortunate through its feeding and homeless programs. On this Give Back Tuesday, the organization not only partnered with ZNS, but relived their experiences over the past 35 years and why they are thankful. LaDawn Davis reports.
Each year, hundreds of Bahamians flock to Great Commission Ministries for a hot meal every Thanksgiving. It's an initiative founder Bishop Walter Hanschel says he's proud of.
Last week held our annual Thanksgiving luncheon where we served over 2,000 meals to hungry people. And they were so blessed. And they talk about that food, it was good. And then this month we are celebrating Great Commission Ministries Month, as proclaimed by Prime Minister Philip Davis. And we're doing a lot of things. We had a lot of activities this month. One of the highlights is today, which we call Great Commission Ministries Day. And we are just giving back.
Since 1987, the nonprofit organization has rendered living accommodations for single mothers, families, and any Bahamian unable to afford it. As the voice of the voiceless, Bishop Hanschel, who is thankful to be alive this Thanksgiving after battling cancer, made this strong appeal to corporate Bahamas.
As we celebrate Great Commission Ministries Day, we are asking the public, corporate Bahamas, and individuals with compassion to join us, to give us some help, to give us some support, to stop by here today, stop by Great Commission today, and bring some food, bring a donation, fill out a pledge card, and you can give something every month. It may be $30 or $50 or $100, whatever you could budget, but give us something so we can continue to care for the poor, the homeless, and the hurting.
Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Obi Wilscombe, applauded the team at Great Commission Ministries for continuing to make a difference by putting service above self.
We have seen the many crises that we've faced over the many years, and there have been those who have responded. They have put their actions into words and their words into action. What they've done effectively is they've reached out. They've called people in. They've been able to feed the people. And this particular ministry has done an exceptional job because we don't seem to appreciate the realities of what exists in our country. Many would want to pretend as if we don't have poverty, but yes, we do. They'd want to pretend as we don't have women who are hurting because of domestic violence, but yes, they are. Young children who can't get to school because of many circumstances, including a lack of food. So we do have issues. And when we see individuals take on these challenges and they make a difference, then we have to celebrate.
Great Commission Ministries plans to break ground on its new multi-million-dollar home for the homeless on Gladstone Road sometime next week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, your next trip to the grocery store could end up doing some good and could even end up helping to feed thousands. This is grocery supply AML Foods Limited launches its annual Feed the 5,000 Christmas initiative. It's a customer interactive drive, some 7 years running, that sees customers donate spare change at their local Solomon's or Domino's cash registers. The proceeds go towards food vouchers for families in need during the holiday season.
We're asking you to donate any amount. No amount is too small. We know that persons themselves are going through hard times with the rising cost of inflation, so no amount is too small. We know that the dollar projects when collectively we all come together and give our support and help fight hunger. So we're calling on you.
And to make sure the items land in the hands of those who need it most, this year the food supplier has partnered with organizations like the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and the Bahamas Feeding Network. The officials of the organization say the initiative couldn't have come at a better time.
because in the midst of all the festivities, in the midst of people feasting sumptuously, there are so many people who are still very much in need. Yes, COVID in Maine is not with us in that same kind of way. But the impact of COVID, because some people have had to spend all they had, some people have had to borrow from their relatives, and they're still not back fully employed. So you still have many, many people who need the services that we render, and we render to the other feeding networks as well.
Well, following their big Exuma Thanksgiving giveaway, one local corporate citizen is looking to up the ante, this time with another initiative set on spreading some Christmas cheer. Here's that feature.
Toys by the dozen, some small, some big. The only thing missing to prove his existence, this.
We decided to do ready on the bed.
But what you're seeing is not quite the North Pole, just a makeshift one. The Bahamas Striping Group corporate headquarters transformed for the month of December, and all for good reason.
The past year has been a tough year for many parents, and I know that the struggle is real. And so we wanted to continue in like fashion and do our part in terms of providing kids with toys for the holidays.
It's the return of the company's Christmas toy giveaway, this time distributing some 5,000 toys to the kids most in need of Christmas cheer. For some, producing that many toys may seem like a massive undertaking, but that's nothing too big for, well, Santa's workshop.
We had people coming up to us in Walmart and all the other stores just asking us, where y'all going with all these toys? 14 and 15 trolleys. And we really tried to be diverse in our picking for toys for boys and girls. But we're going to have some very happy kids this Christmas.
Those happy faces, the only thing company officials look forward to most.
We don't get to see firsthand the joy that the gifts put on the faces of the kids, because we hand over to the NGOs here in Nassau, and those in the family islands we just deliver to the boat. But we get good reports, and we get pictures and videos of the impact that our initiative does.
And that's spreading happiness wrapped in a bow. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Well, over 18 food and beverage and 12 art and craft vendors pulled in hundreds of people this past weekend to CG Atlantic's inaugural Zest Fest, an all-day free event with a dual purpose.
Festival came about because for years we've always done a farmers market tour. We go to these farmers markets, we see all these booths, these small businesses set up, and we thought, you know what, it'll be great to end the farmers market tour with a festival in our parking lot. So here comes the Zest Festival, and our goal is just to educate Bahamians, point them in the right direction so they know vendors that are healthier options, the preferred vendors in terms of health options, crafts that help with mindfulness and meditation, those who are more affordable so they can get gifts, just making sure the holistic man or holistic woman is tackled.
Catherine Coakley was among the vendors participating. She's the founder of Bahama Foodie, a cashless, online, authentically plant-based eatery.
There's an uprising of people becoming more aware of how important it is to eat well and take care of their bodies. And of course, it starts with plant-powered food. You're getting a really good response. People are coming from social media. They're sending messages saying, where are you? Where is this? So I can try your nachos or your tacos that's meatless, dairy-free, or no egg.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
Link up with BTC and call it one and done. Link up with BTC and call it one and done.
I'm Corvell Pfeiffer. Since the launch of BTC's Innovation Series some 4 years ago, we have been making big winners out of small businesses. Our Perfect Pitch competition is a fine example of one way we are reaching out to small business owners, up-and-comers, and aspiring entrepreneurs to help them maximize their true business potential. The competition has now grown in both size and scope, and it puts our local contestants in direct competition with participants from all across the region. The results from this year's competition are in, and our hometown girl, Randia Coakley, the founder of Petty in the Bag, a small at-home beauty care product business, blew out most of the competition as she finished second overall.
So Petty in a Bag is the ultimate petty experience. It's an at-home kit, so you're able to enjoy the love of getting a good pedicure at home. It's quick, it's fast, and it's very entertaining. The concept came about during the pandemic, being at home and trying to find ways to entertain yourself, self-care, and then this is where the concept came from. It started about 2 to 3 months ago is when we created it. I thank BTC for giving us this opportunity because it's able to, one, help us expand the business. It also helps us to tell the story about the business so more behemoths are able to enjoy it, to get it, and to try it. That's the main thing, try it. It's a great experience.
Congratulations, Randia. And when we say we are committed to helping your small business grow, we absolutely mean it. So contact our B2B team today or log on to btcbahamas.com for more information. We can't wait to hear from you to help you. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pfeiffer. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
For the sixth time within a week, investigators are looking into the circumstances into a traffic fatality, Eleuthera's second in recent days. This one involving a 48-year-old man who, according to police, was in a Jeep traveling north on Kings Highway in the area of James Cistern after 2 Monday afternoon when he reportedly lost control and collided with a tree. The Jeep was extensively damaged. The victim was extricated from the vehicle using the jaws of life. The matter is under active investigation. 2 undocumented Haitian nationals detained by police over in Long Island after they were discovered in the settlement of Berries. The 2 male migrants aged 46 and 26 were detained after police executed a search warrant at an apartment. Officers found that the 2 men had no travel documents or identification. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We are currently under mostly cloudy skies. Temperature at 81 degrees. Relative humidity 75%. East-northeast winds at 18 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars. That's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 78 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Turtle Key in Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 77 degrees. The Berry Islands, 82. Alistown, Bimini, also 82 degrees. 81 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 80 degrees. 81 in Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Alistown, Cat Island, 79. 79 extends into San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 83. 80 degrees in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawan, and Ackles reporting 81, 80 degrees in Matthewtown, Unagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, easterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, your wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide, that will occur at 43 minutes past midnight in the central and southeastern islands. Easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. Caution flags are in place throughout the 700 islands. And as we take you into Wednesday for all areas, the winds become southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights at 3 to 6 feet. The low tide, that will occur at 6:50 in the morning with the high tide at 1:08 in the afternoon. Now, as we move into Thursday in the northwestern islands, those winds back as a result of a weak frontal system going through the area, becoming northeast to east at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with caution flags up. Low tide 8:02 in the morning, that's on Thursday, and your high tide will occur at 2:11 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands Thursday, northeast to east winds, they will be increasing 15 to 25 knots at very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So we have advisories in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands on Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Jolly green, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, that sailorman sound. Jolly green, your boat needed bailing out. Yeah, the sailorman sound. You wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
The forecast calls for great savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Best value kernel corn, 15 ounce, $1.19. First choice sugar, 4 pounds, $2.59. Sweet bananas, 99 cents per pound. Cardinal evaporated milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Smoked picnic hams, $2.69 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball. Welcome to your Tuesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Bahamian big man and Phoenix Suns center DeAndre Ayton has been named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week after one of his best stretches of his career with the team after leading the Suns to a 3-0 record last week. During that stretch, Ayton averaged 23.7 points and 16 rebounds on 67% shooting. This after opening up the week with 14 points and then a season-high 15 rebounds and a win over the Lakers. Then on November 22nd, Ayton scored a then season-high 28 points to go along with 12 rebounds in a 108-102 win over Detroit. The 6'11 center then closed out the week with a dominating 29-point, 21-rebound performance, both season highs against the Utah Jazz. With the effort, he became the first Suns player with 29 points and 21 rebounds in a game since Amari Stoudemire. Still news from the NBA. Lakers fans offered loud cheers Monday night for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, the two Pacers veterans who have been rumored as LA trade targets for several months. Buddy, who has 1 year left in his contract at $18 million, posting 15 points in the Pacers' 116-115 win over LeBron James and the LA Lakers. Although he was just 1 of 6 from the three-point range, now Buddy buckets along with Turner and Russell Westbrook were the main characters in months of trade rumors between these two clubs, but no deal has been reached. Turner's positional versatility and Buddy's outside shooting seem to make them ideal fits for the current Lakers squad. The 17-time champions have been unwilling or unable to meet Indiana's price. Payman Kai Jones also beginning to settle into his role as a reserve forward for the Charlotte Hornets. Kai seeing an uptick in minutes over the past several games. Last night, Jones would post 9 points and 6 rebounds in 22 minutes of play. The Hornets would get steamrolled, however, by the Celtics 140-106 and drop to 6-15 on the year. Next up for them is a showdown with the Bucks on Saturday. In women's basketball news, Yolette McAfee-McCoon said she's delighted to have another Bahamian joining her squad, with Rima Collins becoming the latest player to commit to play for the Rebels next year. McAfee-McCoon in town last week for the Balmar Hoops Pink Flamingo Championship said Collins comes in when Ole Miss are tipped to return to the Bahamas next Thanksgiving to participate in the Battle for Atlantis. In women's basketball news, Yolette McAfee-McCoon said she's delighted to have another Bahamian joining her squad, with Rima Collins becoming the latest player to commit to play for the Rebels next year. McAfee-McCoon in town last week for the Balmar Hoops Pink Flamingo Championship said Collins comes in when Ole Miss are tipped to return to the Bahamas next Thanksgiving to participate in the Battle for Atlantis.
So let's normalize this, because there's some special talent in the Bahamas. I've been able to coach 3 Bahamians so far, and I know it's more out there.
Speaking about the one that you have coming in next year.
Yeah, Rima Collins, she's from Nassau. Just incredibly raw, high-level talent. Her best basketball is ahead of her. You know, hadn't played a lot of basketball like everybody else. Really excited to have her.
And if you were looking forward and perhaps seeing the greatest golfer of all time tee off this week, you might just have to wait a little while longer. Tiger Woods announcing yesterday that he's withdrawn from his Hero World Challenge Tour due to plantar fasciitis in his right foot. Woods developed the condition as he prepared to return to action this week. Woods will be replaced in the Hero World Challenge field by Sepp Straka. Woods is the host of the long-running event held at Albany. He has won the Hero World Challenge 5 times, most recently in 2011 at Sherwood Country Club in California. The event has been contested at Albany since 2015. And that's been Look at Your Sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return. The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
Being the CFO at this young age, it really is very fulfilling to me, and it really shows that the hard work, the hours that I put in my career, they really paid off. Having such young persons in such a key role really shows that the board of directors have a lot of trust in the leadership of the young people. Being committed to excellence means that you put all of your effort into whatever it is you're doing to get the best benefit out of that task or anything you're doing in life.
Welcome to the all-new CBS Pro Store. We'll be introducing various products such as plywood, sheetrock, metal stud, and a whole array of bulk construction products. So you can expect the same high level of service that you have been receiving at CBS Bahamas. We originally opened the store in 1980 as our retail location. Hearing from our customers that they wanted us to cater more to contractors, we decided to open the CBS Pro Store here at Robinson Road. So come by and visit us at CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road, where we can help you build beautiful.
The #1 high school basketball showcase in America is back for another year. Last year, we brought you guys the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest in Dallas, Texas, the Red River Hoop Fest in Texarkana, and the Holiday Hoop Fest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our series has brought through some elite-level talent by the likes of Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Marcus Smart, De'Aaron Fox, and the list goes on and on. This year, we're super excited to let you guys know we're adding a new stop to the Hoop Fest basketball series. I hope you guys are ready, because we're bringing some of the top high school basketball players in America right here to the Nassau, Bahamas for the Hoop Fest in Paradise. 4 of the top high school teams in the U.S. will be right here competing against each other. When? December 16th and 17th. You can expect some sharp shooting, high flying, and straight up gritty basketball at this year's Hoop Fest in Paradise. December 16th and 17th, 4 of the top high school teams in America will be right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Will you be here?
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas continues with its platform, We Give Back. Join us as we broadcast on the Darrell Miller Live Show from Demetrius House in historic Fox Hill, Monday, December 5th on the National Voice, 1540 a.m., the People's Station. Enjoy the cultural exchange, the conversation on the national impact and legacy of Fox Hill in true Darrell Miller style, lively and provocative. Hear from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, as we give back. Monday, December 5th, live on the National Voice, 1540 a.m., the People's Station. Don't you miss it.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again, the Atlantic hurricane season. Are you ready? Here's another ZNS hurricane readiness tip to help you prepare. Edward Albury, Vice President with responsibility for claims at J.S. Johnson, explains exactly what wind damage is and whether it is covered in a homeowner's insurance policy.
Wind damage could be defined in many ways. You have wind damage which is 73 miles per hour or more. If that's the case, then it's defined as a hurricane peril. If it's, say, 39 miles per hour, up to 73 miles per hour, then this would be considered storm damage. And so wind in both of those categories would be covered under your policy, one under storm and the other under the hurricane peril.
Now, is water damage covered in homeowners' policies?
Essentially, accidental escapes from your toilet having a crack, your pipes bursting, water heater bursting, these are all covered perils under your insurance policy. Essentially as well, if the rainwater rises to a certain level outside the home and seeps through the doors or whatever, that is also covered. What is probably not covered is if there's no named peril and you have a leak in your roof and it caused flooding within. Well, that would not be covered because there's no peril operating. It's really probably more a maintenance or wear and tear issue.
What about mold damage?
Mold damage under all policies that we are aware of are never covered, regardless of whatever the circumstances are. And that's a market-based exclusion, sorry.
This has been another ZNS Hurricane Readiness Tip to prepare you for the storm.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, as we take you to our satellite picture, we can just back up there a second. We have that frontal boundary just in the vicinity of New Providence and is drifting towards the south and east and could still trigger 1 or 2 brief passing showers during the course of the night, but certainly over parts of the central Bahamas, they'll get 1 or 2 brief showers. Our forecast for tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy, breezy, humid with a shower in the area, 75 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny, humid with an isolated thunderstorm, particularly near that frontal boundary. High temperature tomorrow getting up to 84 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, showers continued a bit into the afternoon on Wednesday, but things get quite nicely on Thursday. And as we head into Friday, that system will back up on top of us and bring with it some brief showers again on Friday. But the weekend is looking pretty nice in terms of sky cover, but the winds will be increasing, so very breezy conditions on the weekend. So if you're planning any boating, this is not the weekend for that. Temperature-wise, low 80s during the daytime, low 70s in the nighttime, but over the weekend, we will start to see some temperatures getting near the upper 60s. Makishla?
Well, thanks, Basil. And before we leave, we want to wish a very happy birthday to twins Fonique and Trinique Francis. Those well wishes coming from family members, especially your dad, our colleague here at ZNS, Trevor, the original Kimbo King. Well, That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And from all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.